トローチ, ワクチン, ガーゼ, ナトリウム. Many Japanese words related to science and medicine came from other languages, not English. Saya and I will explain some of those words in this brand new episode of Machigai Podcast. First, this announcement. Do dogs bow? No, that would be funny. Hoeru no eiyaku wa bao janai n desu yo. Find out more in my book called I Can't Eat Natto, available now on Amazon. Machigai Podcast. I'm Tim Yun.
I'm Saya. 日本人がよく間違える英語のポッドキャストをお送りします。さあ、変な英語を直しましょう。
Okay, welcome to Machigai Podcast. This is Tim with Saya in her lab again. Hi, Saya.
Hi.
She didn't set fire to it this week either, so that's good.
Yes.
We decided after our previous episode, we decided to do an episode about some words related to science or like medical things that are gairaigo. They're loan words in Japanese, but they didn't come from English. Okay, so what is the first one?
トローチ。
Yeah, so I was a little surprised doing research about torochi because I assumed that it was completely never used in English. But I found I'd never heard it before I came to Japan. But apparently some people in America use it. Now, it originally came from Greek.
Greek?
There's a word, I might pronounce it wrong, trokhiskos. Trokhiskos. And the meaning is a little wheel. So, that's why, you buy torochi in Japanese and they look like a little wheel, right? It's round and with a hole in the middle, like a wheel. So that's the meaning of that word. Trokhiskos, sorry. I'll put this in the show notes, but it's spelled Trokhiskos. Trokhiskos.
So, what do you say to refer the same thing, torochi, in English?
Well, usually we'll say like a lozenge. Or I often, as a kid, I would call it a cough drop.
I see.
So it's kind of noroame. I never saw like a kind of torochi in America like you can find in Japan everywhere. But yeah, apparently some Americans use this word, but they instead of saying troch, they say trochi.
Trochi.
So if we spell it Troche, troch, but some Americans apparently pronounce it trochi. But British people say troche. But I think torochi is closer to the Greek pronunciation. Maybe. Oh, I don't know. CH in Greek would be more of a k sound, I think. Troch? So, I'm not sure. Anyway, as an American, I didn't know this word until I came to Japan. But maybe in some parts of America it's used. Okay, what's the next one?
Next one is ワクチン。
Okay. So this is one of the many ones that comes from German. And, of course, in Meiji times, Japan had a lot of cultural exchange with Germany, especially in like medicine. So there are a lot of medical words related to, or coming from German. So Americans would say vaccine.
Vaccine.
Germans, I guess, would say like vaccine, but maybe Japanese doesn't have that same v sound, so it became wa somehow, vaccine. So, but yeah, it doesn't sound like vaccine very much. Okay, what's next?
ウイルス。
Wheaties, yes. Not Bruce Wheaties. That's the joke I make every time. We talked about it on Machigai Podcast a long time ago, episode 77. But Americans say virus.
Virus.
Yeah. I think this is a case where traditionally in languages of Europe, the letter I is an E sound. But in English, a lot of those I's changed from E to I, like virus. So you'll find this a lot with words in European languages that look similar to the English word, but if they have an I, it'll be E in the European language and I in English often. Okay, next one.
ガーゼ。
So that's pretty close to the German pronunciation, I think. Gaze, G-A-Z-E. In English, it's spelled G-A-U-Z-E. And we see that E as being a silent E. So we say gauze.
Gauze.
Yeah, gauze. The A-U, gauze. Okay, what's the next one?
ギプス。
Gips. Yes, this is also German. And it's completely different from the English word. We would say that you have a cast on your leg or your arm. C-A-S-T, cast. Okay? Two more.
ビニール。
Yeah, so this is another case with the I. The V-I-N-Y-L. The I in German is E, so vinyl. But Americans say vinyl.
Vinyl.
Yeah, just like virus, vinyl, vinyl. Okay, and last one.
Last one is リットル。
Yeah, no, this, I always thought it looked a little strange because it looks like it's katakana for little, like chisai, rather than leader, which, if you took it from English, it would be lita,
Yeah.
Not littoru. But apparently it comes from French, where they would say litron.
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 So often in Japanese, that final o of a French word becomes a ru, I noticed. So yeah, littoru.
ボンジュールとか。
Bonjour, yes. French spelling is L-I-T-R-O-N. But, often French spelling, the last letter is not pronounced.
No, like S
Yeah.
とか。
Yeah, just about any letter, I think. The last letter in a French word is usually not pronounced, I think. So, litron, not litron. Okay. So, after this break, Saya has a question for me.
YouTube で間違いを見ることができます。ティム先生がタレントの中島めいみさんにクイズを出します。YouTube で間違いイングリッシュを検索してみてください。
Okay, so Saya, what is your question?
So I always wondering why we Japanese call sodium as natrium.
Yes, natrium.
ナトリウム。
So, yeah, this is kind of interesting story. So, you know that, and most of our listeners would probably know, scientists give names to each animal and plant and element, that's genso, each element with Latin, or what we call new Latin. You know, they'll make a new word that seems like Latin, but 2,000 years ago that word didn't exist. In the Roman Empire, they never saw this word. It's a new Latin word. And every time they make a new discovery of some kind of animal, insect, plant, element, they will give it a Latin name. So about 200 years ago was the first time that sodium was separated from anything else, that they were able to get just pure sodium. And so I guess that was when it was first identified as an element, or genso. So a guy in the UK, or in Britain, named Sir Humphrey Davy, in 1807, separated it from other elements. And his name for it was sodium. He based it on the word soda, which refers to sodium carbonate. What would sodium carbonate be in Japanese?
炭酸ナトリウム。多分。
Okay, yeah, carbonate. That sounds right. And then adding the Latin ending ium, so sodium. Now, 2 years later, there was a German scientist named Ludwig Wilhelm Gilbert, and he suggested a different new Latin name for this element. Originally, he called it natronium, coming from an Egyptian word for natural mineral salt. And then natronium was shortened to natrium. Natrium, I suppose they would say. So in Germany, that's the word that they use for sodium, natrium. And then again, Meiji times, so much scientific knowledge came from Germany to Japan. So Japan started to call it natrium. And the exact same thing happened with what you call cadmium. Because Davy called it potassium, and Gilbert called it calcium. And so calcium became Japanese.
When natrium and sodium met, when and where, how
What do you mean?
people recognize that natrium and sodium are the same
Well,
thing?
I mean, as I understand it, Sir Humphrey Davy and Ludwig Gilbert, they both lived in Europe at the same time. They must have had contact with each other, or the greater scientific community of Europe. So I think it was understood at the time that it was the same thing.
But they called their own.
But yeah, they came up with different new Latin names for the new element. So yeah, I think there was never a problem like thinking natrium and sodium were two different things. But yeah, just somehow they got different names in different locations.
I see.
Okay. And now, everyone, you may want to hear it again, so here's the review.
View.
You get it?
So,
I said, you may want to hear it again, so here's the review.
so
Genso,
genso?
yes, the element.
ナトリウム
So, an element, scientific element, is genso.
Genso, yes.
So, you might want to hear it again, so here's the review. Yeah, it's no good if I have to explain it. That was too difficult. Sorry, everyone. I'll work harder on my dajare.
レビュー。明治時代によく日本がドイツからいろいろなことを習っていて、日本語で使っている科学的な単語や医学的な単語がドイツから来ました。例えば、ワクチン。
In English, vaccine.
ガーゼ。
Gauze.
ギプス。
A cast.
ビニール。
Vinyl. But some words came from other languages.
ウイルスはラテン語から来ました。
In English, virus.
リットルはフランス語から来ました。
In English, leader.
イギリスの科学者とドイツの科学者がナトリウムやカリウムを発見したときに別々の近代ラテン語の学名を作りました。
In English, natrium is sodium and calcium is potassium.
皆さん、科学の会話をしているときにこの英語を正しく使ってくださいね。
B or V.
B or V のコーナーです。今週の単語は
Veil. Veil.
この単語のスペルは B と V のどちらを使っているのでしょうか。正解は間違い .com にアクセスしてください。もう一度、今週の単語は
Veil. Thanks for listening. I'm Tim Young.
さやでした。
We'll fix more strange English next week on Machigai Podcast.
また聞いてくださいね。皆様からのリクエストを募集中です。間違いポッドキャストで取り上げてほしいテーマはありますか？メールアドレスは podcast@間違い .com です。ツイッターは間違い。Facebook は間違いポッドキャストのページでお待ちしています。いいねも忘れずにお願いします。